Hey everyone, in today's deck profile video, I am going to go over my Win Rye deck that I absolutely love playing. And for my fellow Rye deck players out there, I'm kind of want your thoughts. I know a lot of you do run Fire Rye. I've met a few Water Rye players, but I really enjoy Win Rye, and I kind of would love to get your feedback on this, or how I can improve it, or what you would do differently. I have played this at my locals, absolutely love it. We'll probably continue playing Win Rye even into the next set. So I just kind of wanted to go over some of the cards that I use in the deck. First, we will get into the material deck. Obviously, we have Spirit of Wind. We then go into Rye level 1, where we put the 2 Enlighten counters on once you get there. Then you have the Rye level 2, where again, when you're anytime you use a mage spell, your first mage spell for the turn, you get to put a Enlighten counter on. And then finally, I do run the Rye level 3, where for every card in your banishment, you get to gain a level, which is just, I run a lot of cards that have efficiency, and just the higher your level, the better. I do run in Arcane, Arcanist Prism. Again, this is just a really solid card when you need to get, you don't necessarily like the cards in your memory, and you do need to get something else into your hand. This is just a solid card to use. I do run Crystal of Empowerment, again, when you do need those extra 2 levels when you're going to be using some of your cards. Again, with that high level of efficiency, because with efficiency, your cards cost less. I do run Tomb of Knowledge, again, being able to get your champion to gain a level. And this ties into Tome of Sacred Lightning, which essentially allows you, you can banish this and play for free once you are at Rye level 3. Grand Crusader Ring, you have to run. I mean, this is just a staple as of set 1 that you will be running in all of your decks. I do run Safeguard Amulet just in case I do go against those other Rye decks, and just having that extra barrier for damage. 2 cards that do not show on the slide here, I do run Orb of Regret, because this is about as close as you're going to get to any type of mulligan in this game, and being able to play this and choosing 3 cards and then drawing 3. Such a solid card to have. And then finally, this one's kind of a tech choice. I do run Excalibur Cursed Sword. Kind of interesting to play, sticking this on your opponent and saying, okay, hey, anytime that you're going to get anything out of your material, anytime you materialize a card, you're going to take 2 damage. And this 2 damage does make a huge difference with this deck, because a lot of times you may now only need that 1 Arcane Blast, or you may only need that 1 Erratic Bolt, or the Stormcaller or Arcane Elemental. So I do like this card. Yeah, they're doing 1 damage to you, but whatever. So your champion, they get to attack for 1 damage. If you're using this with Lorraine, they already have other weapons out anyway, and they're going to want to use those weapons instead of this. Okay, then we will get into the main deck. The main deck, I do run 4 of Summon Gale. Again, this is another efficiency card that's used for the deck, which you are gaining a lot of levels with Rye. Essentially, this is a free cast. This is great to use when you need to get rid of your opponent's allies. I also do use this card with other allies in my deck, which we'll go over a little bit later here. But I do run Summoning Gale, 4 of those. We'll kind of get into the card that I use Summoning Gale with. I use it with Zephyr's Assistant, and I do run 3 of these. And this is just, again, really solid card. You pay 2, you gain an Enlightenment counter, then you can turn around, use Summon Gale, put this card back in your hand, gain another Enlightenment counter. By the way, you can even swing with it, do like that 1 damage to your opponent. This is just a really, really solid card. Really solid play with this deck. So I really like pairing this up with Summon Gale. We'll kind of get into some of the mage spells that I do run with the deck. I do run 4 of Arcane Sight, because why wouldn't you? This, again, such a solid card. Draw a card, champ gains a level. It's basically a free cost. I do run 2 Spell Shield Arcane. I have ran 3. I found it to be a little bit more bricky than it needs. This deck does draw a lot of cards, and you have a lot of search in this deck. Then I do run 4 of the Erratic Bolts, and I do run 3 of Arcane Elemental. This is another card that's extremely solid with Summon Gale, because again, you can play this a lot of times for free, then you Summon Gale, put this card back into your hand, and then replay Arcane Elemental. It's another way for you to do damage, and this time it isn't mage damage or spell damage. So when your opponent does use like Spell Sprout, sorry, and has that defense, now this will literally, this gets around that because it is an ally attack. I do run obviously 4 Arcane Blast because you just kind of have to. I do run 2 of the Advent of the Stormcaller. Again, this card pairs really well with Arcane Elemental because when you are sitting there and putting all those arcane elements in your banish zone when you use this card, you can just turn around and follow it up with that last little bit of damage that you need to do because you can just play Arcane Elemental directly from your hand. I do run 4 of Anger of the Skies. Again, the reason I run 4 is because if I do go against those ally decks, this deck does get to level 3 extremely quickly, so I can turn around, get to level 3, play this card, wipe their board, and it's almost like we have a new game because their board's completely wiped and they got to build right along with me. I do run 2 Reckless Conversions. Again, I did run 3 in this deck. I found 3 was a little bulky. Because I have a lot of search and draw power in this deck, I figured 2 is exactly what I need. I get them when I need them. So those are the Arcane Element cards that I run. Next, I'm going to get into the Wind Element cards that I run. I do run 4 of Veiling Breeze. This card is just so good. I mean, it reveal any amount of wind cards from your memory, and you reduce damage, even if it's indirect damage, any type of damage for the turn. Like, this is such a good card. And one of the reasons that I do like Wind Rye is because of this. So, Veiling Breeze, again, pay 1, you reveal your memory. For every wind card, you reduce that. I mean, it's just so good. I mean, and a lot of times I've actually done double Veiling Breezes in a turn. Literally just shut your opponent down. So such a good card. I do run 4 of Beseech the Wind. Again, this helps turbo the deck to hurry up and get you to that ride level 3. You can do this as early as turn 0, or quote unquote when your champion's at level 0. Because if you pay the 3, you're going to pay 1 in order to go to level 1, and then you're going to pay 2 to go to level 2. And you do want to hurry up and get to ride level 2 with this deck because a lot of your cards are mage spelled, which in turn allows you to gain more enlightenment counters. And with more enlightenment counters means you draw more cards, which means that you can get what you need and then go all in against your opponent. I do run 4 Channeling the Winds. Again, such a solid card, has floating memory. You pay to put an enlightenment counter on you. A lot of times you're going to gain 2 with this because this will be your first spell when using it with Rye level 2, which is going to get essentially 2 enlightenment counters. So again, great way to get floating memory, great way to get cards into your memory to level or play other cards from your deck. Such a good card. I also run 3 of Distorting Winds, because this card's more beneficial once you hit Rye level 3. Once you hit Rye level 3, this is essentially going to be a free cast because it does have efficiency. And again, this is so good to use with Arcane Elemental because again, not only is, you play Arcane Elemental and then you turn around and cast this card, Arcane Elemental goes back into your hand. And then with Disorienting Winds, you're actually drawing a card. So such a powerful play. Again, just another way that this deck can do damage. Again, we went over that I run 3 of the Zephyr Assistants. Again, this pairs well with Disorienting Winds and Summoning Gale. I do run 4 of the Fairy Whispers. It's a great way to search for cards for your deck. You pay 1, glimpse 3, you can, get a win card that you're looking for, and it's fast cast mage spell. So again, on ride level 2, you're going to gain an enlightenment counter, which is just going to, again, get you more cards that you need. You're going to have all these enlightenment counters that are going to draw you stuff, just really solid. And then I know it doesn't show on here, like the numbers. I do apologize. My picture's in the way. I do run 2 of Zephyr, and this is a really solid card because if you like, I went against Lorraine decks, and this is a fast cast card. So if they're going to swing with their sword, and I believe they have a Crux card that increases their damage, but it increases their sword damage. So what you can do is when they do all this, in response, you can use the Zephyr card and say, okay, I am suppressing your sword now. By the way, all that extra damage, no go, right? So now they only do, like, my understanding, and again, if there's a judge watching this, please feel free to correct us. What happens is now that gets, like, the attack still goes through, but any of the sword damage or any of the damage increased on the sword doesn't go through. So it really, really minutes the amount of damage you have. This also gets rid of an ally or regalia. So it's a really good, solid card. I only do run 2. Again, I may or may not increase this amount. I do have some in my side deck that I possibly could run. And then we got Scary Disguise. I mean, again, you pay 1 for this. You literally get to glimpse with Rye level 3. You're going to glimpse at like your top 8, your top 9. Literally can set up your next turn. Normally when I'm playing this, I'm about ready to go for game. And then the other 2 normal cards that I run in here, besides Scary Disguise, which I do run 2 of these, I do run Careful Study. This is essentially with Rye level 3, this is going to be a free cost, because you're more likely than not going to be at level 8. You're going to have those 5 arcane cards in your banishment. So essentially when you play this is put 5, and if it's your first one, put 6 enlightenment counters on you. And again, this is like pay for 1, draw 2, right? So this is just more allowing you to get cards out of your deck. So I do run 4 of these. Careful Study has just been absolutely clutch. And then I do run 2 of Pure Indamana. And again, this card, like, once you start building a board and you got the cards in your hand and you play this, essentially this could be pay 4 to draw 4. Once you start really getting up the levels with Rye. And you do this, and then you draw into, say, like a Veiling Breeze, and you put all these win cards into your memory. You're just sitting there, you're like, yeah, I go pass. Because you know at that point, then your opponent next turn, you're probably going to be able to take any type of onslaught that they have towards you. So I really, really do like Pure Indamana. I do run 2. I did 1 point run 3. It is, I do go kind of back and forth on it. I feel 2 is just the right amount. Because again, this deck does draw a lot. Like, you got Scary Disguise, you got Careful Study, which allows you to draw cards. You have Arcane Sight that allows you to draw cards. Reckless Conversion. Like, you have a lot of stuff in this deck that does allow you to draw cards. So really, really, really really fun deck that I really like to play at our locals. Highly recommended. If you are a Winride player, let me know if your deck is similar to this, if there's things that you would do differently. Again, I'm always looking for feedback. I don't claim to be like one of the best deck builders. This is a brand new game, so I'm always looking for feedback. And again, any Rye players out there, like, hey, feel free to put in the comments what you think about Wind Rye compared to maybe Fire Rye or Water Rye. Like, I really enjoy Wind Rye. I've gone against some Fire Rye decks, which have been quite interesting. We kind of go back and forth. And again, I just love Veiling Breeze. It's such a solid card. But hey, I hope you all enjoyed this deck profile video, and looking forward to meeting up with all of you. I will be at Ascendant in Houston. That is actually my birthday weekend, so I am looking forward to meeting up with all of you along with the rest of the Maindeck crew. But all right, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you all soon. Take it easy.
Thanks for watching another Maindeck video. Maindeck is sponsored by JW Sports Cards and Gaming. Visit jwwcards.com and by our amazing patrons. Get exclusive content and other cool perks on the Maindeck Patreon. And hey, while you're here, I bet you'd like one of these videos. Go ahead, click one. I know you're gonna love it.